Good evening. A very warm welcome to everybody. Please come. Let's pray together. Ashato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amrutam gamaya. Sahana vavatu sahano bhunaktu sahaviryam karavavahai tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. O Lord, the Almighty, the Omniscient, the Omnipotent, the Omnipresent, one who has the divine names as Dharma Viduttamaha, Vaikuntaha, to such a divine Lord, together with utmost bhakti, prapatti, we offer our humble salutations. We seek your grace, O Lord, your blessings, your mercy, your love, your compassion, your kindness, your benevolence, your forgiveness, your strength. We beseech in you to enhance the divine qualities of bhakti, jnana, vairagya, prapatti, mumukshutva, only and only to realize thy true self. In this very life, we see the divine light within us, aparoksha anubhuti, as a first-hand experience. we seek your grace again and again for this endeavor, which is the purpose of our life. Our humble salutations to the Guru Parampara. Om Tat Sat. Today, by the grace of the Almighty and the blessings of the Guru Parampara, we are on our Divine Discourse number 371. Shobhakrit Nama Samvatsara Uttarayana Shishira Ruto Maghamasa Krishna Paksha Bhaumavasare Dashmyatito Mula Nakshatre Siddhi Yoge. On this auspicious day of Tuesday and the auspicious time of the evening, we all take a vow with a deep understanding, acknowledging that whatever comes to us in our lives, by an incident, by an occasion, by a circumstance, be it through a person, place, or an object, O Lord, I know thy game. I have fully surrendered to you. Who can play better than you? I accept everything as nothing but your blessings unto me, to pull me out of this ocean of births and deaths. I will lead my life with devotion, faith, complete surrender, and with peace, happiness, and bliss. Our salutations to the Guru Parampara once again. Om Tat Sat. Good evening, everybody. A very warm welcome to all of you once again. So today, just before starting the revision of the 5th chapter, I would like to focus on the last but one verse, the 28th verse. Reason is, with the understanding of these negative tendencies in us, if we are able to move ahead, it will give us much more clarity on the path of spirituality. It is not only about spirituality. This is also about being calm, poised, and in a state of peace. Now, that's all what we are looking for. So if you know the root causes of what is the cause of this fear, what is the cause of this hatred, what is the cause of this anger, what is the cause of this desire or greed, when you get to know the root cause and you know that you're working towards the cause, the root cause, then what happens? It enhances your understanding capabilities. It gives you that kind of a confidence. Yes, I must get this. So that to prepare your mind, to prepare your brain to get these facts, we are first addressing this, because I feel I didn't do much justice to the 28th verse in the last session. So I would like to take it up again. So here, what does Lord Krishna say? Yatendriya mano buddhir munir moksha parayanaha vigate cha bhaya krodha vigate cha bhaya krodha yas sada mukta eva. So 27 and 28 combine what it starts with. This yogi, he has shut all the thoughts of the external world, external enjoyment, external pleasures. See, when you sit for meditation, what happens? Immediately all the nice things which you have experienced through your senses, they start hitting your mind. So first is he shuts out all these thoughts, and then he fixes his gaze in the between his eyebrows, the bhru madhya, what we call, and he watches his breath. He equalizes the flow of the prana shakti within him. So now he is getting ready to move ahead. Now, coming to the crux of this 28th verse, now to get all this state, what you need to do? All this what we just now explained. Controlling all the thoughts and all that. Here, first aspect required is controlling the senses, controlling the mind and the intellect. And this sage who has controlled the senses, mind, intellect, he becomes free from desire and fear. And such a person, the result, Lord Krishna says, he lives in freedom. Now tell me, are we not wanting to achieve this? Yes. We want to live without fear. We want to live without hatred. We want to live without anger. So, a state of freedom which is in peace and tranquility. So now the Lord says, if you have to go to that state, there are some preparations which you need to know, which you need to do, and to do that, you need to know certain aspects in your life. Raaga, as he said over here, Vigatecha Bhaya Kodha. So here, how does this Icha, Bhaya, Krodha, how does it come? So for Icha, he says, we all know Raga, Dvesha, what we have studied right from the beginning. Raga means I want this. Dvesha means I don't want this. So now we are going into the deeper aspects of Raga, because that is what it springs desire. And from desire, there are various other side effects. So, I want this at any cost. Now, if I feel I want something and later if I forget, then there is no problem in our lives. In such a case, there is no problem. Like say, for example, you take a child to an exhibition. Now the child, as soon as it enters the exhibition, my God, to the left, to the right, there are so many stalls and everything is interesting to the child. Now as soon as the child, it looks at one stall, it sees nice balls over there. Mommy, I want that ball. Now the mother says, yeah, we'll buy. Come, there are so many nice things to look at. Oh, is it? Come. He all that happiness and joy. He's jumping up and down. Now he goes and he sees these guns. Oh, he says, Mommy, I want a gun. Okay, you want this? Okay, we'll buy. Now, by the time he saw the gun, he has forgotten about the ball. Now he moves ahead. There he sees balloons. Mommy, I want that balloon. Now he has forgotten the gun. Now see, as he moves forward, he is forgetting the ones which he has seen in the past. Now, since his desire, Raga, which we call desire, Raga, is not strong, for such personalities, Dvesha also is not strong. This is a common understanding. So, as you move ahead, he points out to several other items. I want this. And the mother is saying only one thing. Okay, we will buy. And she's taking him to the next stall. So he only has a mild ichha, what we call, that desire. It is not raga. As he sees something else, he forgets the previous one. So if we too are like that, if we too are like the small kids, we will not have any problem in life. But we are not like that. So just desiring is not raga, it is known as sankalpa. Just desiring is not raga, it is known as sankalpa. A light desire comes up. So all raga desires start with a sankalpa. I want this. But when that sankalpa intensifies, I somehow want this. At any cost, I want this. This should be mine and mine alone. So now what happens? That sankalpa has become a raga. Now if you have this kind of a strong desire, let's say on your wife, patni raga, on your husband, pati raga, on your son, putra raga, if it is on your daughter, it is putrika raga, if it is on money, it becomes dhana raga. So now these are all the raga which a person has acquired in life. Now we should see how many ragas do we have in life? What is that which is driving you mad in life? We have to ask ourselves. Why this is required is we are now going to that state of ecstasy. We are going to the peak. So all these kind of weights, what we call, if somebody is wanting to climb a mountain, first and foremost thing they are careful is about the weight they are carrying, the extra baggage. Yes, they need some food. Yes, okay. They need some water to drink on the way. Okay. But unnecessary things, they take it off. They carefully look at what they are carrying and what could be left behind to the best extent, they just keep it behind. So these are not the musical ragas like the Bhairavi raga or the Mohana raga, Shankarabharanam raga. No, these are the ragas which will pull you down. The Patni, Putra, Putrika, Dhana, all this. So person who has so many ragas in life, he is called as a ragi. If you have got several ragas, a strong desire for your spouse, a strong desire for your children, a strong desire for money and possessions, you are known as a ragi, whose desire is very strong. Abhinivesha, what we call, that moha, that involvement, that attachment. But if a person has only sankalp, not a strong desire, desires do come, but he just has a mild ichha, okay, he is known as a viragi. Ragi, now comes the second category is viragi. If I get it, it's okay. If I don't get it, it's also okay. Agatam swagatam kuryat. That's it. If it comes, I welcome it. If I don't get it, it's okay. I think I'm freed of a responsibility. That way. So this is the family tree of Raga, Ragi and Viragi. Now, a Viragi is not that he has given up everything. Please understand this. It is that such a person is not under pressure from his desires. It is known as Vipsa. Vipsa Rahita Viragi. Vipsa is the one who always longing to have something he has desired. That Vipsa is not there. Vipsa Rahita Viragi. Now, what are the side effects of this raga, which we just now spoke? First and foremost side effect is, you have desired for something, you don't get it, immediately dvesha, hatred. This whole thing is nonsense. Then you come to a point where you start hating your life also. It starts with the object, then the incident, and then the person, and then you come to a point where you start hating life. That is the state of depression. Dvesha. So these are very deep understandings. So once we know that from where things are coming, then you will be able to catch it at the root level and make amendments in life. The second side effect is Irsha. I don't get, somebody else gets it. And especially a person whom we know, if they get it, my God, your blood starts boiling. Irsha. So you know why most of the people in this today's world are unhappy? Not because they are not getting what they want. I'm not getting what I want. Yes, there is a reason to be unhappy. But most of the people, if you observe, they are unhappy because somebody else is getting. Forget about them, whether they are getting or not. Somebody else is getting. This is that Irsha. Now another byproduct comes is Bhayam, fear. Say if I get something, the moment I get something which I have aspired for, I start developing fear. How is that? That meaning a fear of taking care of it. I should see that I don't lose it. Now you know, I have seen in many weddings, women, they carry jewelry from whichever place they are. Now they have to go to some other place, let's say. You have to travel by train or by a flight. You carry your jewelry to that place so that you can wear it for the wedding. From the time they have packed their jewelry, they are fearful of not losing it. So now the desire came that I have to wear. And because of that desire, now you are carrying it. And you're always having that fear throughout that journey. And even when you have kept in the room, you're wearing one piece of jewelry, but now the rest is still in the room. Now and then that comes to your mind. I hope everything is all right. I hope everything is all right. That Bhaya, Irsha, Dvesha, they all come from Raaga. Raaga comes from Sankalpa, and Sankalpa comes from where? Ajnana. So Bhagavan Shankaracharya in his Brahma Sutra, Adhyasa Bhashya, he says, Asya anartha hetoho prahanaya atmaika vidya pratipataye sarve vedantaha arabhyante. Sarve vedantaha arabhyante means, if you see, be it Shankaracharya or Lord Krishna, the Vedas, the Upanishads, the Brahma Sutras, they don't talk about giving up desires. Like Kama, Krodha, Dvesha, Raaga, Sankalpa, they don't talk about all this. These are of course the side effects. They only say drive away that which is the root cause of all this, which is Ajnana. Ajnanam samastasya karanam. For everything we have in life, all the negative traits, it is nothing but Ajnana. We are not aware. Knowledge. Be it like, say, you're taking a trek in a particular trail. Now, you don't have knowledge of that trail. You're wearing your slippers, okay, where most of your feet is exposed to the ground, and it's looking nice. There is nice grass over there, lovely plants. They have flowers which have bloomed on the plants, and there are birds which are sitting on those trees. There are bees which are humming around. Now, not knowing, you start walking, and slowly you will see that the leech, that insect, has got onto your legs and it has started sucking blood. Now, how did this happen? Because of your ignorance, ajnana of that particular trail. A simple aspect. If somebody was there who is knowledgeable, who knows the trail, and he says, sir or madam, please ensure you wear shoes which are above the ankle. and see that you properly cover, you tuck your pants into the shoes. Don't keep any gap because there are leeches in the soil over there. Now that is jnana. So knowing that if you walk the trail, what happens? You will walk, merrily walk, enjoy the walk, and you will come back without any problem. But not knowing, if you walk and you are going to suffer after the walk, in the same way we suffer because we do not know our true nature. Results as a thought of sankalpa in my mind. Sankalpa intensified becomes raga. Raga fulfilled, it gives me bhaya. Unfulfilled, it gives me dvesha. So see the irony here. Raga fulfilled, it is still giving you worry. Fear sets in. If not dvesha and irsha, what is this? An example. A couple now married, 1 year passed, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, they're not being blessed with a child. Situation is alarming. 3, 4, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. Then they start doing vrata, puja, sankalpa, homa, all this intensified now. Come what may, we should get a child. Now that sankalpa has become raga. Now say God's grace, their wishes fulfilled. They get a child. Now at some point, children do get infections. So suddenly the child gets fever. And it also has got cold. And body is like 100, 100.5, 101 temperature. My God, the mother starts shivering. The parents start shivering. Doctor, is the child all right? Why is this? My child was so good yesterday. Suddenly I saw this. The mother is constantly, she is worried and she is asking so many questions. Now let's say the child got all right and now it has become 1.5 years old or something. Now it's trying to walk. Now the mother says, no, don't walk. It holds it from walking because you will fall down. And if you fall down, you will get hurt. See, that fear, that excessive attachment. We have seen this in so many parents. Excessive attachment. That is that delusion, that moha. See, we have to understand, we have like lessors. Lessors means you have leased your house to somebody to stay. To what extent you can control them? You can say, okay, you may put a condition before giving the house. You are not supposed to eat non-veg in this house. If it's okay, fine, I've given you. You're not supposed to make noise in this house because I've given you on the first floor and I stay on the ground floor. And you have some basic rules for a tenant. So same way, we have just a landlord to the children who are born to us. They've used our womb. They're born. After a point, you cannot claim much from them. So that excessive attachment, you have to be this way, you have to be that way. You cannot tell your lessor that today Monday, you should eat only a pumpkin. Tuesday, you should eat only cabbage. Wednesday, you should eat only cauliflower. You cannot tell such things. Broad, yes. But when you start going into this detailing, then everything comes for a toss. So understanding now how these Raaga, Bhaya, Kodha, all these come in. Now who is the mother for all this? Raaga, Bhaya, Kodha. They are the kids. The mother is Ajnana. So here a Muni, Manana Shilavan, he has controlled all his senses. Yatendriya Mano Buddhihi Munir Moksha Parayanaha. He has identified all these raga, dvesha, bhaya, krodha, and he has kept all this baggage aside. Like a person who is going on trek, he says all these nonsense I don't want to carry, I'll keep it here, when I come back I'll pick it up. But here we are not going to pick it up. Now he is on the path of meditation, he is wanting to go ahead, he wants to establish that knowledge of the Supreme in his mind. So he is doing manana, Constantly now he's churning the language, the knowledge what he has learnt. Atma Vichara, Manana Shilavan Munihi. Why Manana? Moksha Parayanaha. Only one aim in mind, one goal in life is he by doing Manana. Yas Sada Mukta Eva Saha. This is the last quarter of the Shloka. Yas Sada Mukta Eva Saha. He wants, like, he is beyond all this. His only thought is being established in realizing one's true self. If we are able to get this, why should I say if we are able to get this? Yes, we will get it. The way we have been established now, we just need God's grace that we are not pulled out. Being on this path, knowing our true nature, keeping all these baggage aside, you are sorted in life. It is like you have more or less reached the shore. Say you're going in a boat and the boat comes to a point where the water is, say, you're wasted deep. Okay, so then even if you jump out of the boat, no harm. The water is only up to your waist. You will slowly be able to walk to the shore. So when you reach that level also, where the water is up to your chest or up to your navel or up to your waist, what happens? You are safe. You have almost reached the shore. Such a Muni who has reached the shore. Now what are his qualities or Lakshana, what we call, is going to be? Now that is going to be explained in the 6th chapter, which is Dhyana Yoga. So this Manana Shilavan Munihi, who is doing that constant churning within, that inquiry within, how is he doing? For what is he doing? All these important aspects will be explained in the 6th chapter. Now we come back to understand what this whole chapter 5 is trying to teach us. Now we have understood the end of this chapter. Now let's come to the beginning. That's equally important. See, many a times back and forth, the more you do back and forth, you will get that proper knowledge, that proper understanding. Don't take these lightly. These appear sometimes confusing. Sometimes it appears that I know this. There is nothing great about this. But then you ask a question to yourself, you will not be able to explain it. Because the whole game of Maya is such. So now we start with the first chapter, the first shloka of this chapter. Arjuna uvacha sanyasam karmana Krishna punaryogam cha samshasi yachreya etayorekam tanme bruhi sunishchitam. Tanme bruhi sunishchitam. Tell me what is good for me. Now he is his friend also, his brother-in-law also. So he has got that proximity. Sometimes, you need that proximity with somebody. So he's saying, Krishna, what is this? You praised karma sanyasa, meaning that path of renunciation of action. Sanyasa means giving up. Karma sanyasa means giving up actions. Meaning what? A sannyasi who has left everything, all actions of a normal person, like not getting married, not raising kids, not taking up a job, meaning where he earns money. When he is not earning money, so naturally there are no possessions which he has. So this is the path of actions. He has renounced. You praised in the previous chapter that a person who is a sannyasi is great and all that you said. And now you are telling me that you do karma yoga. Be in action. What is he telling Arjuna? He is telling Arjuna, get up, stand and fight for dharma. Now the whole of Mahabharata, the whole of Bhagavad Gita is for the general mass who are grihastas like us. We are all fighting a battle, but without a proper understanding. As I told you, you're walking in a jungle or a trail or a path where you don't know how to walk that path. And there you get all the leeches on your legs. And then we suffer. So he says, do this karma yoga. What? Just do it with devotion, as though you're doing worship. Just like as you go in the morning, you light a diya, then you offer flowers to the feet of the Lord. Then you do agarbatti, then you do some nevedya with a fruit. And if you can do arti, then you do an arti, say a mantra. What is that? That is devotion. You're offering everything, whatever you're doing. In the same way, offer every action to the Lord. I'll tell you now in simple terms how this can be understood. One of our Swamijis in the Ramakrishna order, he was telling us, he was somewhere in the north, one of the very remote airports. I think if I remember it right, it could be Dehradun. Now, a small airport and only one flight, say one in the morning and one in the evening. This was about several years ago. So he was well on time at the airport and he's in saffron clothes. So when he checked in his baggage, crossed the security check, and now he's in the final leg of security check. So he's frisked. Okay, with that machine, he is properly frisked. Now, after the frisking is done, now you have 3 or 4 security people over there. Now they say, Swamiji, there are hardly 5 people on this flight, and all of them have come, and there is still 1 hour for the flight to come. So why don't you tell us something good which we can follow in life? So now Swamiji, of course, he said, you and people don't allow me to rest at peace over here. But he says, okay, I'm happy that I can make some sense to your lives. And he, on the platform, where they are frisked, he climbs on that so that he gets that height to talk. And he asks that person who was frisking him, what do you do in the morning before coming over here? He says, Swamiji, I take my bath, I worship Hanumanji, I light a diya and I offer a flower, and I pray to him and I come. So that's the worship which I do on a daily basis. Now he tells, your job, what is your job here? Frisking people. Okay. Front and back you frisk, and then you put a seal on their ticket and you say, please, you're done. Now he says, when you're doing this frisking, you complete it, right? And as you put a seal, you imagine that you're placing a flower at the feet of Lord Hanuman. Jai Bajrangabali. Say that and put that stamp. Meaning that person whom you frisked, and this process of putting the seal, you say, I am offering a flower to you over here. Remember him and put that seal on the ticket, as though you're offering a flower at the feet of the Lord. See, that's all what we mean karma yoga. Working with devotion. Now and then, as we are offering flowers, as we do pranams, as we do sashtanga namaskar, you have to just, while you're doing all this, with whomever you're dealing. Now, each and every person who comes in front of you becomes Hanumanji. He says, oh, din bhar Hanumanji ka puja. He says, precisely. You are going to do puja the whole day, from morning till evening. Your entire day is going to be full of worship and devotion. See, such a simple thought. You need to get the knack of it. And one needs to practice. It's nice to listen to, but Maya will play its role here. Don't allow it to slip off your mind. Catch hold of it. Make a note somewhere or write it on the wall and follow it religiously. You might have slipped here and there. When you've cooked food, you're serving to somebody, offer that when you serve into their plate, that you're offering a flower at the lotus feet of the Lord. You're putting your tiffin box in your child's bag. I'm offering a flower at the lotus feet of the Lord. You're signing a check. I'm offering a flower at the lotus feet of the Lord. So this way, when we talk of doing our karma with the devotion, simple, that becomes karma yoga. So now Arjuna says, you are telling me to do karma yoga, but you are praising karma sannyasa. So now if you understand, this is the 5th question of the total 16 questions which Arjuna asks in the entire Bhagavad Gita. Now let's take a recap of what happens from the first chapter. First chapter gives a preface to the entire Mahabharata. Arjuna is struck with grief and he has completely lost his senses. So now Lord Krishna begins to relate that spiritual knowledge to him. So that what? By listening to this spiritual knowledge, you will be back on your feet with that vigor and strength and power to live a life. So it very clearly shows that we too get bogged down in life. Sometimes everything goes for a toss. Your finances go for a toss, your relationships go for a toss, your career goes for a toss, your health goes for a toss. And when 3 or 4 important things go out of your control, what happens is we too become like Arjuna. But if you have Lord Krishna by your side, if you have his teachings by your side, you will never face that problem. So he makes it very clear that if this is your situation in life, you are in the right place to get the right knowledge. Then he moves on to the 2nd chapter. There he reveals to Arjuna the science of the self, which is known as the Atma. He says, this soul is immortal. You are worried that people are going to die, isn't it? That you have your uncles, your nephews, your niece, your brother-in-laws, more importantly, your Bhishma Pitamaha, your grandfather. You have your guru in front of you, Dronacharya. He says, don't think that they are going to die. This body is nothing but a garment which the soul or the Atma is wearing. He tells Arjuna, there was never a time when you and I did not exist. You know it not, I know it all. He says, what do you think? You think that you are this body, mind, this lump of flesh? Do you think you are that? No. You are an immortal soul. Understand your true self. So then he says, this is foolish to lament like this. Sometimes we tell children they are crying like as though they have lost everything in life, and we tell them, hey, what are you lamenting? You're making a big fuss for this small thing. See, because your knowledge is at a higher level. So then he reminds Arjuna of his duty, dharma. As a warrior, you should be on the side of righteousness. You should fight against evil. And yes, once you do this kind of a karma, if you are doing with that ego in mind, then you are bound to fruits of action, which is the papa or punya. So now he says to get out of that, do your karma, but in a way that it does not impact you, further bind you in the grip of papa punya. He says, offer the fruits of it to the Lord. So this way he tells about the highest knowledge in the 2nd chapter, and then in the 3rd chapter he comes about saying how to purify your mind, because mind is like that vessel. Unless and until you clean the vessel, you cannot cook in that vessel, you cannot hold anything in that vessel. Your mind has to become pure. So for that he slowly goes on to talk to him about his duties in life. Now in the 4th chapter, he concludes by saying that sacrifice performed in knowledge is better than mechanical, ritualistic sacrifice. Let your each and every action be with knowledge oriented, backed by knowledge. So this way he says, all sacrifices ends in knowledge of one's relationship with God. You have got no other relationships here. They are all ephemeral, meaning they are there now and they are not there after a while. Some people whom we love so much, whom we care for so much, suddenly you see they are not in our lives. So he says, look at God in each and every relationship. So he introduces the principle in the 4th chapter, the karma sanyas, where he talks about the ritualistic duties and the social obligations are renounced, and one engages in the devotional service with the same body, mind and soul. Now these instructions, what happens is, somehow it shakes Arjuna over here. He thought that renunciation of works, meaning giving up the actions, and doing karma yoga work, meaning work in devotion, they are of opposite nature, he thinks. What is this? One way I am doing action, and on the other hand, renunciation of work says I don't do action, which means they are opposite, isn't it? Now, it is not possible to perform both simultaneously. That is when in the 5th chapter, he raises this question to Lord Krishna. So, when this question comes, where both are on extreme ends, then he tells, please tell me, what is suitable for me? And those who have developed detachment from material desires are ready to dedicate themselves fully to the service of God. So he slowly, when he expresses all this, I want to become that. I want to do what you are saying, which is right. But I get confused because you talk of several things at several points of time. Just tell me in simple words. There's one very, very beautiful shloka from the Viveka Chudamani, which we should all make a note of. Especially people who think that they are on the path of worship, puja, rituals. It's mind-boggling. Vadantu shastrani yajantu devan kurvan karmani bhajantu devataha atmaikya bodhena vina vimuktir siddhyati brahma shatantarepi. He says, you may be under the guidance of erudite scholars who are able to talk of all the scriptures, which means you are listening to Shastra. Shastra in terms of the Bhagavad Gita or whatever it is. You may be doing sacrifices to please several gods. You may be doing rituals on a continuous basis. You may be doing propitiating Havan, Homa, Yajna for a particular god. Dhanvantri Homa, Mahamrityunjaya, Gana Homa, you are doing all this. But yet, without the experience of one's identity with the true self, meaning the Atman, there will be no liberation for the individual. Not even now, he tells, what is the time span? Even 100 Brahmas put together, the lifetime of 100 Brahmas put together, even in that kind of a lifetime also, you will never achieve mukti or salvation. You understand? So when we think, we are doing, I am morning, I read all these stotra, purana, I read for 2 hours, then I do puja for 1 hour, then I do homa for 1 hour. You may be doing all this. But if you have not realized what is the identity between whom you thought you are and what is actually there, you will not get salvation. Of course, you will get a lot of punya for the good things, the good deeds you are doing, and that punya, if it is outweighing your papa, you do not know how much papa you are carrying. If it is outweighing, then you will go to the higher worlds. Just like you buy a ticket, you fly to a destination, you have made a booking at a good resort or a good hotel, and you go around, you eat good food, you see nice places, you experience, and after your money is over, you come back, isn't it? In the same way, you will be in the higher worlds. Basically, the Swarga, what we call, different Swargas are there. You will be there for that time, and then you come back. Where? Back to earth. And what your life can be. Now this is the Atma, which is always there. Okay. Now this Atma will take a garment. It will pick up a dress. It can pick up the dress of a human body, or it can pick up the dress of a animal, or it can pick up a dress of a reptile, or it will pick up a dress of a bird or a worm, anything. The only and only pathway to get liberated, to get moksha, is a human life. Bear this in mind. A rare opportunity has come. One should not miss this rare opportunity. I'll just tell you something slightly out of the context, but of course it is the crux of the whole understanding. How I look at the whole of the spiritual exercise. Now we know human birth is rare, rarest opportunity. So why do we settle for anything less? Because even the devatas, they do not have an opportunity to gain salvation. They have to come back to take a human life. So how do we start our journey? If I have to give in a nutshell and a snapshot, first practice Karma Yoga. And in Karma Yoga, what do you do? Ishwararpana Buddhi. Prasada Buddhi, the devotion aspect comes here. Give up that kartrutva, that I am the doer. Give up that bhoktrutva. Give up that gnyatrutva. I am not the karta, I am not the bhokta, and I am not the jnata also. Then slowly move higher. No raga, no dvesha. No kama, no krodha, no lobha, no moha, no mada, no matsarya. Slowly, unless and until you observe yourself, you will not be able to get these off. What are we talking of? All the extra baggage, right? Unless and until you look into your bag, how will you remove what you don't want? You have to look into your mind. Yes, this is something which is excessive desire here, excessive anger over here, excessive jealousy over here. Remove it. Then develop that Viveka Shakti. How do you develop this? That discrimination. Know what is permanent and what is impermanent in life. Have you not seen how relationships break? Have you not seen how finances go up and down? Have you not seen how your health goes up and down? Have you not seen how your career or profession goes up and down? So when you know that these are all going to go up and down, why give so much importance for this? Because we don't have the knowledge that everything comes to us because of our prarabdha. When something is already coming to you, why do you have to put efforts to get it or block it? Now you know somebody has sent you a courier. Imagine you go to the courier office because they have told you it is coming. You go to the courier office and you wait for the courier over there. First of all, he will not give you there. It is going to be delivered at your doorstep as per the address, and that too looking at your ID, and if at all there is an OTP, he will ask for the OTP also. So when something is coming to you, it will come to you. So that discrimination, don't waste your time unnecessarily for that. Having that discrimination, use create that chitta shuddhi and chitta ekagrata, develop that jnana, develop that bhakti and vairagya. How? Through Guru Upasadana. Go to a guide, go to a guru who knows the Shastra, and from him, Shravana, start understanding everything. Manana, keep churning it in your mind, clarify all doubts, and then once you have established in that knowledge, sit in meditation, build up the neural paths, remove the old bridges which are there, build new bridges, build new pathways of what is the truth. I am not this what everybody is seeing. I am this body which the Atman is wearing. It is just a body which the Atman, just like we take a pair of clothes from the cupboard and we wear, and at some point we discard it. When time is over, okay, I'm going for a party. I wear that party dress. As soon as I come back, I remove it and put it back on the hanger or put it for wash. So that's the end. So this is, I am that Atman who is playing a role in this world, and as per the role, I keep changing my dresses. If I am at home, I wear a comfortable dress which suits my leisure at home. If I'm going for a walk, I wear a different sort of dress. If I'm going to place of work, I wear a different dress. If I'm going for a function or a wedding, I wear a different dress. So depending on what the situation is, just like that, the Atma wears a different dress from time to time. So once you get this knowledge, knowing that you are not this person, you are only acting over here as per the dress. You're putting on the dress and you're acting. Till the time of that role, you are in that dress. The role is over, you discard the dress. So in the same way, the Atman, that is my true self. As an actor wearing that dress, that is not my true self. What is my true self? I am that actor, not the role over here. Now the role is the body, mind, senses. That conglomerate is the role. Who is the actor? Atman is the actor. So what we have done is we have mistakenly understood ourselves to be the role. Role is not your true self. The actor is your true self. This body, mind, conglomerate is not your true self. That Atman is our true self. Constantly now, why we have to say this to ourselves so many times? Because our understanding is wrong, not from this birth. From several births, our understanding is wrong. So we have to get out of that. So to get out of that, we need to again and again tell our mind. Sometimes, some like children, they have got a wrong understanding. We tell them. Then we say, understood? Samajh mein aaya? Then you tell again. Now tell me what you have understood. Suno aur ek baar bolta hu. You tell again. No, why? Because you want that child to erase what it has understood wrongly and get the right way of moving ahead. So in the same way, this is not of one life as we did, millions of lives. So in that you sit in that samadhi state, free of thought, free of anxiety, free of worry, and constantly feel that consciousness. I am that Chit. I am that Chit. I am that Chit. Which in Sanskrit we have the Mahavakya, Saham Brahmasmi, Prajnanam Brahma, I am Atma Brahma, Tattvamasi, These are all saying, I am that Chit. That consciousness, not this awareness which is in my body. This is a reflection of that consciousness. But the true self is that consciousness which is governing or enveloped the entire universe, which is enlivening all actions, all thoughts, all sensations, and all aspirations in life. It is enlivening. Now, just like you have various gadgets in a house and there is electricity which enlivens these gadgets, in the same way, I am that electricity, I am not that gadget. I am not this jiva, I am that electricity which is that pure consciousness. You have to move from the jiva bhava to the Paramatma Tattva. This is the biggest change you have to bring into. Now, if we are able to understand this much, then this is enough. You don't have to do anything else. Just be established in this one knowledge. I am not the jiva, I am the Paramatma who is enlivening the jiva. If this much we can understand and be established in that, that is done. But what happens? Maya drives you back to the jiva bhava. So that is the reason we always bring Ishvara, Paramatma again and again into our lives, to ensure that we don't get stuck in this. So now, for this, Lord Krishna has to give a reply. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Sanyasa Karma Yogascha Nishreyasa Karavubhau Tayostu Karma Sanyasa Karma Yoga Vishishyate. He says, Arjuna, for you, now you're asking me a straight question, right? I know Karma Sanyasa and Karma Yoga, both are beneficial. But amongst the two, Karma Yoga is better for you because it is easier. Now again, this puts a bit of doubt in Arjuna's mind. He says, even we also can understand, if both can do the same job, and now you are telling me what is easy, then why you are praising the other? So here we have to understand the subtle aspect is, there are two steps. One step is higher, one step is lower. Okay, now lower step is Karma Yoga. Above that is Sannyasa Yoga. Now if you are able to go to the Sannyasa Yoga, meaning if you have that thrust in yourself to jump directly into the second step, well and good. But knowing Arjuna, what Lord Krishna says is, you first climb on the first step and then move to the second step easily. This is precisely that. See, both these steps take you to the same place. Meaning what? You go on step 1, it will take you to the final result is, you have to cross step 2 and go to the next platform, which is where you wanted to go. But if you have the capability, go to step 2. And what is that which is required in step 2? That stability of mind. Now the requisites are going to be given. Then you yourself will say, no. I think that is too much for me to climb at one go. I will rather put my leg on the first step and then go to the second step. So like for example, you want to go to say Singapore. Now to go to Singapore, you need to catch a flight. Okay, perfect. But then you tell somebody, yeah, come, let's go to Singapore. And you tell him, sit in this car. He'll say, what is this? You told me you have to take a flight to Singapore. And what is this you're telling me to sit in the car? Now the car is something which will take you to the airport, isn't it? So that is the job of Karma Yoga. Taking you to the airport, sitting in the car is the first step. And then you sitting in the flight and going to Singapore is the second step. You can't directly go and sit in the flight, isn't it? So in the same way, here Lord Krishna tells him, The first step is easier and it is required. So you have to ensure that you go step by step. And then the question also comes, if I have to give up all the duties. Now we are going into the detail aspect. As a sannyasi, I have the choice where I just give up all the duties and I sit in that meditation. I told you the entire process. The last stages are through that Viveka Shakti. You develop Chitta Shuddhi, Chitta Ekagrata, and then Guru Upasadana, Shravana, Manana, and Nididhyasana. Now the second step is like you're going to the last line of what all process I explained, is you're going to Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. How can you go to Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana without Chitta Shuddhi and Chitta Ekagrata? Meaning without a pure mind and without a focused mind. You cannot. So that cleansing is required. Now whatever, let's say you want to cook, you can't just take all the vegetables. Now you have a coconut, you need, let's say you're using coconut in your cooking, you're using ashgard, you're using brinjal. Now all that you just can't put it in a vessel, that to a vessel which was not cleansed overnight. Whatever you have cooked, you're taking that same vessel. Imagine you putting a coconut, you putting brinjal, you putting a cabbage, you putting everything just as it is inside that. It won't work. There is a level of cleansing which is required. And the process, at what time you need to put in what. Then only you are able to achieve the right recipe. So in the same way, he tells that you think that, okay, now I don't want to do any household duty. I'll go and sit in some ashram and then I'll start my meditation and all that. You are mistaken. Although an ashrama, as we say, brahmacharya ashrama, grihasta ashrama, vanaprastha ashrama, and sanyasa ashrama. Here, what is the meaning of ashrama? A place to transform yourself. That is the meaning of ashrama. In every ashrama, you have got its own role. In grihasta ashrama, initially when we are all working, we have to do that Chitta Shuddhi, Chitta Ekagrata. The first phase, Karma Yoga. And develop Bhakti Yoga. And then slowly you come to Vanaprastha ashrama. Being in grihasta only, you attain the state of Vanaprastha. And slowly you get into sannyasa. You don't have to go to any forest, you don't have to leave your family, you don't have to leave your house. Being in the same place, you can follow all the 4 ashramas, being a brahmachari. When you are studying, then you get married, then you attain maturity, where you have done enough of karma yoga, you slowly transform into vanaprastha. And then at one point you relinquish everything. In your mind. What here it means, it's not your clothes or the way you have your hair. Just let all your hair grow and have beard and then you put on a saffron dress. That is not going to make you a sannyasi. It is in the mind. The mindset will make you a sannyasi. Not desiring, not aspiring, leaving everything at the feet of the Lord, dedicating everything to the Lord, doing every action as with the selfless attitude. Niswartha bhava. When you do in this way, then slowly you will see you have seen that transformation. Then everything you hold in your life, look at it as, it is not mine. I'm just a trustee holding this. We say, we have in our house we have a puja room, and in that puja room we have got God in that puja room, where an altar and God and all that. Now, a grihasta, when he slowly gets this knowledge in the vanaprastha stage, what does he say? He says, God is not in this puja room. This is God's house and we are staying in God's house. That will be his attitude. God has given this house. It is his house, and we are staying in this house, not that God is staying in my house. That change of attitude when it comes. Everything which is coming, you see more and more knowledge. It comes, what do you see? I am that Atman, which is there in this body as this Jiva, and I'm just performing my duties. The role I am performing, just like I've given dialogues to deliver in my life, I'm giving this. There are several other actors on the stage in my life. Who are the actors? Your family, immediate. Then you have your neighbors, your society, your relatives, your colleagues, the whole world. Now that is the whole stage. And according to each and everyone's dialogue, they interact with you. Don't get disturbed when somebody says anything wrong, when somebody praises you. No, they are just delivering their dialogues. You have your own dialogue to deliver. Now whatever comes to your mind is that online dialogue report you're getting. Keep delivering it. As what? I am playing this role. I am that actor which is that Atman. And this role is the Jiva. In this way. Now, Lord Krishna, he clearly tells him, you have to do karma yoga which is beneficial to you. Now in the next verse, the definition of a karma yogi is explained. I think we'll stop here and learn the rest in the next class. In fact, there was a lot of digress today, but I think I've given you the whole crux. Now and then we need to get this. This is the panoramic view of the whole study. Okay. So once you know the overall aspects, whatever we are touching base, verse by verse, you will know where to connect it. Because you've got that macro picture. Now this micro will little continue, but getting the macro picture now and then does a lot good to our studies. Okay, so in this way we progress. Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Idam Namah. We'll now go to Shri Vishnu Sahasranama. We are now on 404 and 405. Verse number 43, we have to do the last. Dharma Viduttama is verse number 43. And verse number 44, Vaikuntha. Let's read the verse. Ramo Viramo Virajo Margo Neyo Nayo Nayaha Veera Shaktimatam Shreshtaha Dharmo Dharma Viduttamaha. Dharma Viduttamaha. One who is the highest among men of realization. All those who know the reality are knowers of this self. Naturally, therefore, this self is the best knower among all knowers of the self. So the Paramatma himself is the best knower. So he is known as Dharma Viduttamaha. Now, Shloka 44. Vaikuntha Purusha Pranaha Pranada Pranava Prutuhu Hiranya Garbha Shatrugno Vyaptur Vayuradokshajaha. 405 Vaikuntaha. One who prevents men from going astray into wrong paths. That is one of the meaning for Vaikuntaha. In Mahabharata, it is mentioned in a different concept. I united the earth with water, space with air, air with fire. Hence the name Vaikunta has come to me. This is also another meaning. So the one who has united all these 5 elements to make this whole universe, and also who prevents men, jivas, from going in wrong directions. To such a Lord, the Almighty, we offer a humble salutation, seek His grace again and again with complete surrender, prapatti, which is the key to evolution and eventually realization. Now, let's chant the Dhanvantari mantra. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaya Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrutakalashahastaya Sarvabhaya Vinashaya Sarvaroga Nivaranaya Trailokyapataye Trailokyanidhaye Shri Mahavishnu Swarupa Shri Dhanvantari Swarupa Shri 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 Aushadha Chakra Narayanaya Swaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaya Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrutakalashahastaya Sarvabhaya Vinashaya Sarvaroga Nivaranaya Trailokyapataye Trailokyanidhaye Shri Mahavishnu Swarupa Shri Dhanvantari Swarupa Shri 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 Aushadha Chakra Narayanaya Swaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaya Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrutakalashahastaya Sarvabhaya Vinashaya Sarvaroga Nivaranaya Trailokyapataye Trailokyanidhaye Shri Mahavishnu Swarupa Shri Dhanvantari Swarupa Shri 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 Aushadha Chakra Narayanaya Swaha. One needs good health in life to achieve whatever one wants to. We pray to Lord Dhanvantari to grant us the requisite amount of health to achieve our goals in life. Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Let's meditate in the Sakshi Bhava as a witness to this body, mind, and senses conglomerate. Let's sit in a comfortable position with your head, neck, and spine in a straight line. Relax your forehead. Relax your face. Relax your neck and your shoulders. Relax your upper body. Relax your lower body. Now focus on your breath. Prana Vikshana. Look at the breath. Prana entering through your nostrils and exiting through your nostrils. Your entire attention is on the breath flow. Now slowly shift your attention to the mind. Observe your mind. Observe the thoughts in your mind. Be a pure witness to the thoughts in your mind without being judgmental to the thoughts that occur in your mind. Pay no heed to those thoughts and slowly observe. Number of thoughts gradually reduce. You will soon come to a stage where there are no thoughts. You are very close to the state of the Atmaikya Bhava, having crossed your mind. Know that this is not your true self. I am that Chit. I am that Chit. I am that Chit. Nirvikalpo Nirakara. Sarvavyapi, which has no thoughts, no effects, pervading the entire universe. Sarvendriyanam, which is the source of life to all senses. I am that Chit. If you are able to hold for just 4 seconds, it's a great achievement by itself. Any time above the 4-second rule, again bring it back, and in a state of no thoughts, I am Chit. I am Chit. I am Chit. I am Chit. And when you're verbally saying this to yourself to make a greater impact, add to it, I am the voice of God. I am the voice of God. I am the voice of God. By doing this, you're divinizing the Jiva, knowing that everything is operated by the Chit. You're coming out of the Kartritva Bhava. You're getting away from the grip of the Maya. Ishvara controls Maya. Whenever your mind and intellect are interacting to do any action in your daily life, bring in Ishvara over there and do everything with his approval. Don't allow the intellect to take a call. Bring in Ishvara. If you have to say yes to somebody, no to somebody, for everything use Ishvara. Divinize your thoughts. Divinize your actions. Anytime during the day, for 4 seconds, cross your mind and be in that state of no thoughts to whatever extent you can above 4 seconds, and then get back to what you are doing. And at that point, if there is nobody around, keep saying, I am Chit. I am the voice of God. I am Chit. I am the voice of God. I am Chit. I am the voice of God. If somebody is there, even while conversing with a person, lift your mind and practice this 4-second formula. Our target will be to take it to 12 seconds and do as many number of times you can during the day. Slowly bring your attention onto your breath. Om Purnamada Purna Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Together we offer today's Gita Jnana Yajna at the lotus feet of the Lord to seek His grace, mercy, blessings, and strength. Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Idam Namama. Om Tat Sat.